To get started with it, I got the numbers of the books, chapters, and verses. The books, there are 66 books in the Bible. I thought I would start there and was able to easily cut the numbers up into 6 parts, 6 11s, which is a prime number. I said, okay, well, that was simple. I got my first hexagon. I got 6 equal sides of 11s. A little bit easier than what I had anticipated, but I was okay with that and moved on to the next chapters. This was a theory, so I wasn't worried too much. I could be wrong, right? So, on to the chapters. There are 1,188 chapters in the Bible. I cut that number up into 6 parts as well and got the number 198. Now, this would require a little bit more thought. We now have 6 even sides that are exactly 18 times the size of the first hexagon. Now, I was actually so excited that the chapters made a hexagon that I went on to the verses. I was thinking that the verses would be the next hexagon or would give me some points or specific verses that would read, that would possibly give me a clue as to whether I'm on the right track or not. I was expecting a little help from God at this point. The verses are 31,174, according to those who actually took the time to count them. I didn't, but I found some pretty good sources. So I divided it by 6, as I'd done twice before, and I hit a brick wall. 31,174 divided by 6 is 5,195, followed by an endless number of 6s. That didn't give me much. I questioned my sources, and they're pretty damn concrete. Well, now I start thinking of those verses my uncle showed me. They were almost identical. What if he was wrong or misinformed? What if there is no center verse in the Bible, like I had first thought? So I tried cutting it in half. 15,587 is half. There is not a center verse in the Bible. I researched some more to find that the center 2 verses were, in fact, though, Psalm 118:8 and Psalm 118:9. That's 2 parts. That means there's 2 halves. So I took the number 15,587 and I divided it by 3. I hit another brick wall. Or not. What if I needed 2 points now, like DNA, AC, TG? And they would basically connect from one corner to the other. So I subtracted 2 from 15,587 and then divided that by 3, which gives us 5,195 evenly. I added 1 to that and you get 5,196, which is one of the 2 points on either side. Since you're cutting it in half, you just take one side and apply it to the other. You put 2 5,196s together, and you get your next point at 10,392. So, you flip this over diagonally, and you have the points for the other side. I now had the verses of the Bible numbered counterclockwise. I did it counterclockwise around a hexagon. Now what? Something just felt wrong to me. It felt like I had just written the numbers of the verse in a circle and forced it to have 2 points on each side. Well, I was doing what all of us do. As humans, I was thinking closed-minded. I just placed a limit to what I believed to be limitless. Yes, the number of verses have a beginning and an end, thus making a circle. Big deal. Anybody could have done that. Anybody could figure that out. You take any book and it will do that. The only thing that I had done was pinpointed certain verses. So I sat back and thought for a while, several weeks actually. I wanted to let my mind rest and clear my head. I had a lot to do. I'd dive back into the deep when my mind was clear. I couldn't stop thinking about it though, but every time I tried to work on it, I couldn't concentrate. I was overwhelmed by thoughts that didn't even feel like my own. I felt distracted. Time went by and I took a small vacation from life. Finally, it hit me. I started thinking about what God is and what of reality. Alpha and Omega. God says he is the number 7 and he is the beginning and the end. He is the equivalent of the number 0. That which cannot be comprehended because of our limitations. And I realized that I had placed a limitation on his book and that I had placed my own intentions before him, thus creating a brick wall for myself. So what did I miss? Well, the work was already done. I was too busy taking the next step to look at the whole picture. That second hexagon made from the chapters can be directly cut by the number 11. I totally just blew over this, and I feel stupid for doing it. How close-minded of me. 198 becomes the length of the sides of the hexagon, and 11 is the innermost or outermost number. When you proportion these lengths accurately on a paper or whatever, you get what is called a Metatron's cube, or even more accurately, an 18-level Rubik's cube, with the number 11 being the base number. This number is very significant. The Bible, in fact, matches our reality. It lines up. Now, coincidence or not, I don't know, but I'm just going to continue on with my research, right? Now the verses become irrelevant because of one reason. Our Rubik's cube is already there. If the verses were necessary, this would stir up some major controversy, because some people would argue, some religions would argue whether or not certain verses should be placed in the Bible or not. And I just totally said not or not over and over again. But anyways, now we just need to chop up the Hebrew, Greek, and Aramaic letters of the Bible and basically start playing with our Rubik's Cube. The number of verses will come into play here, but not their actual numbering. So we're in the clear there. So after we lay out our numbers of letters into our galactic Rubik's Cube, how will we know how to turn it? We need a key to unlock it. The answer, I believe, is in science. Sound and DNA specifically. If God is who he says he is, then he is limitless, and his knowledge of you is deeper than your knowledge of yourself. It is a scientific fact that we are made from dust particles. DNA is our computer operating system, and sound is what gives form to reality. My theory is that if we were to run our DNA code through the Bible, it would tell us everything we need to know about ourselves. If we run sound through our galactic Rubik's Cube, it would unlock something else. Furthermore, the book of life may even be encoded in the Bible. I believe that the key to the universe may literally be locked in the Bible itself. So, at the least, you should consider the Bible to be a reference book and study it, kids. Thanks for listening.